Welcome to the last lesson on how to treat your prospects' objections the right way to double your sales. Now, over the last few lessons, we've talked about what actually happens in your client's mind when they get stressed out, how to spot that kind of reaction, and what to do when it comes up. Which means there's only one thing left to talk about now, which is, what do you actually say? Let's put some words to it. Now, my hope for this lesson is that you'll take the words that I'm going to give you, the way I say it. Maybe you try it out for yourself once or twice. Maybe you already have your own idea by the end of this. But what I would encourage you to do is find your own words. If you've paid attention, you already understand the principles that inform this whole conversation I'm about to show you. Which means you'll be able to find your own words that are much more persuasive than anything I could teach you. So let's take a look at what to do to take the pressure off when you're trying to close them. Now, assuming that my prospect just told me, I need to think about it, here's the first thing I'm going to say. It's okay if you don't buy. Now, the way I would formulate that is, I might go, listen, can I just put the cards on the table here real quick? And I wait for my prospect to go, yeah, sure. And I will say, at the end of the day, whether you and I are in business or not, either is better for me. Because I would rather close you on a solution I'm 100% certain, you are 100% certain, works for you. Because the last thing I want is to go home tonight and think, what if I get a charge back tomorrow? I don't need that kind of grief in my life. Now, I know this is going to sound maybe a little irrational to some of you, because after all, you're there to close, right? You're there to sell them. So why are you suddenly taking a passive stance? And let me assure you, that is not what I'm asking you to do right now. The mindset that informs this part right here, it's okay if you don't buy, is simply this. I want to close you. Yes, absolutely. I will not do it at any cost. I will do it if it makes sense for you and for me. And in order for us to make sense of it, I need you, dear prospect, to be a rational person. So what do I do to get them back into rationality is I take away the one thing that is stressing them out right now. Because your prospect is sitting there, and in their mind, they have the conflict going on of, this person right now, they're expecting me to say yes, but I'm feeling uncertain. I want to get out of here and don't know which one to do. So I'm taking away the expectation. I'm telling them, look, it's okay. Either is better. The moment I do that, I'm starting to look out for signs that they're relaxing, that the pressure is going off them, shoulders sloping down, gaze softening, the physiological sigh. I'm looking for them relax again. The moment I see them relaxing is the moment I know, okay, now we're ready to have this conversation. And the next step, those of you who have read the book Influence by Professor Robert Cialdini, this is going to sound very familiar. If you haven't read that book yet, what are you doing? Stop this video. Go buy this book. It will teach you so much. All right? Because the next thing I'm going to do is called reciprocity. The principle of reciprocity is, if I do you a favor, you feel obliged to do me a favor. And I just did you a favor. I'm trying to close you and I'm telling you, hey, look, it's okay. No pressure. I will not pressure you into anything. I've done you a favor. Whether you realize it consciously or not, doesn't matter. Which means now I get to ask you for a favor. And the way that might look is, that being said, can I ask you for a favor right now? What I would really like to do is I'd like to explore with you real quick what's causing the friction for you right here. Now, the reason I'm phrasing it exactly like this is, first of all, I want to call it out. Yeah, I got a chip here. I'm cashing in that chip. Do me the favor, please. And then I'm not talking about anything emotionally charged. I'm not telling you, I'd like to look at your objections. I'd like to look at what's making you uncertain right now. Those are ideas that are emotionally charged that at this point could run me the risk of tilting them back into a stress response. I want to stay as neutral as possible. So I say, we just talk about what's causing friction for you. That is a very neutral way of saying it. Everyone gets what I'm talking about. But it doesn't trigger another stress response. And then, of course, the moment I said that, next thing I want to do is I want to justify why I'm asking for that favor right now. It might look something like this. The reason that I'm asking you is simply because at the end of the day, this product may not make sense for everyone. If there is something where I can't help you, I want to figure that out. Because I want to understand how I can improve my product, better serve people like you in the future. Would you be willing to do that? Now, the moment I'm putting out that justification is the moment I'm opening up a frame of cooperation. This is the last step in this process. If my prospect now agrees to what I just said, then it's no longer you versus me. I'm trying to convince you to buy. You're trying to convince me that you're not going to buy. It's not us against one another. It's you and me against whatever it is that's causing friction. We get to look at that together. Setting up a frame of cooperation is very, very powerful. But it hinges on one thing. And that is your commitment you made in the beginning. You commit that you're not going to pressure your prospect into anything. And if you do slip into a pressure tactic later on, guess what? Your client is going to notice that. If they paid any attention to the conversation, they're going to go, hold on, 5 minutes ago, you said you weren't going to pressure me. Now you're pressuring me. How dare you? And it'll close down the whole conversation very quickly. Take out the pressure by committing to not putting them under pressure. Then do that. You'll find in 30 seconds, your client turns from irrational, I need to think about it, to rational, okay, here's my objections. Here is what I would need in order for that to work. You run this pattern. What you're going to find is initially you may not get everyone. Not everyone is going to respond by calming down and relaxing, but soon enough, you're going to find that it gets easier and easier to spot the stress reaction, commit to not putting them under pressure, lead them to relaxation, which then allows you to activate the concept of reciprocity and establish a frame of cooperation. Now, I hope this is going to help you in many, many ways, because the principles you just learned are useful beyond just sales. Any type of influence, you ever want to take. If you can spot a stress reaction, put an end to it, return them back into a rational mind. It is so much easier to influence someone who's in their rational mind. So I want to thank you for watching all this way. And I hope you're going to join me and Ricky on the next video, where we have a special offer for you and your bonus video on what to do once you've established a frame of cooperation. I'll be teaching you how to use the principle of consistency to lock down your prospect's objection and make a very strong case why they should buy without any pressure. So I hope to see you for that. Goodbye.